What's up, everyone? This is DYANAROZAY. Welcome to my channel. What is up? What is up? What is up? Hey, everybody, come on in. Come on in. We're doing an early morning chit chat. Hey, everybody, come on in. Hey, Nola, darling. Hey, Linda Gamble. Anyone you see with a purple wrench behind their names, they're here to make sure that you have a good time in the chat. Okay. So you guys come on in, please, and we're going to get it started. I hope everybody is doing fine this December 1st. Y'all, we only have, 31 days left, and then we're going to be in 2024. Where did the year go? I swear, it feels like it's January already. Like, everything has just been speeding by. But come on in, come on in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you like, you can put your city and state in the chat, and I'll give you a shout out. Hey, everybody, come on in. Okay, I know this is earlier than what I usually have for my my crowd. I don't think my crowd is up and active until around 11:30ish, but I'm actually trying to get some new folks in. So welcome to the chat. Go ahead, hit that like button on your way in, okay? What's up, Indianapolis? How are you? Come on in. Okay. I have two Indianapolis. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I see a Chicago. Welcome. Okay. Listen, y'all keep coming in, keep hitting the like button on your way in, and we are going to get it started, okay? Flint, Michigan. What's up, Flint, Michigan? Okay, let me get myself on. Hey, Texas. Hey, Charlotte. Welcome, everybody. Thank y'all for showing up this morning. I'm trying to do something a little different. I see Birmingham, Alabama. What's up? Also from Dallas, another Dallas or Texas. Hey, Dallas, Virginia. Okay, thank y'all. I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys showing up from all over New Orleans. My favorite accent is the New Orleans accent. My favorite city is Chicago. I love Chicago. All right, y'all. So let's get it cracking, okay? Listen, this is going to be a variety of things that we're going to talk about today. Last night, though, after I had done my thumbnail and everything, I had saw a post on YouTube from phone calls from prison, and it happened to have been, Ernesto Williams and his good friend Dre, someone that he was actually in the pen with, I guess, several years back. And he's been calling, hey, Miss Jackson, how are you? Best food. Yes, they have a lot of celebrity chefs in Chicago. So and I love the pizza too. Love it. Anyway, this guy named Dre, y'all know that there's been all these calls that's been leaking between Ernesto and a woman named Sonia out of Florida, right? Someone said Huntsville, Alabama, no relation. Okay, child, I know that's important for you to say. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Tanya, for the super sticker. I appreciate you. Thank you for blessing the channel. Come on in, everybody. But I'm going to get it started with this conversation about Ernesto, okay? Ernesto these calls have been leaking, and it has made him look a hot ass mess, okay? There's someone who has it out for him really bad. Like, everybody who's ever gone to jail, have been talking about these phone calls and saying, we've never seen anything like this. Why is this happening? Stuff like that, right? And listen, they've been leaking for a while, so she's got them honest. The young lady who runs that channel has gotten those calls honest. But I was listening to it. I've been talking to friends about it. And we're like, it is interesting that these calls are leaking the way they are leaking, which is fine. And this man has not been able to, hasn't been indicted on anything. He's been in jail for well over a year and a half. And it occurred to us, let's see, I saw you in that chat. Yes. Okay. I was in a chat, child. I had to give her a little change. I was like, damn, this is a great call. It was a two-part call. I think she dropped the first one the day before. The second one dropped last night. But when you hear these calls, because it's embarrassing. Let's face it; those calls are embarrassing as hell. Shirley, oh, okay. Shirley, when she had, I think in September sometime, she had went on to the Steve Harvey show. She was tearing up talking about the calls, and every time you hear those calls, that's really the person you're thinking about. That's the person I'm thinking about. I'm like, damn, it's already bad enough that this is happening, that your husband or estranged husband is in jail. You're trying to figure out how to maintain some sense of normalcy because everything that you had before is gone. You don't have a car, you're working two jobs. I believe she's 69 years old. You're working two jobs. At least I think she's working two jobs, because when she's on one of the calls, I remember I heard her say, I'm getting ready to leave. It was like, it sounded like it was a nighttime call. So anyway, keep coming in, you guys. I see 93 of you, 96 of you are in the chat. I think you have to wait 1 minute to join the chat. If you wanted to type anything, you'll have to become a subscriber, and then it's only like a minute, so it's not that big of a deal. But 58 of you have hit that like button. Keep hitting the like button. So first of all, I want to say all props to phone calls from prison. The Ernesto calls, the Ernesto Williams calls are not the only calls she has on that channel. She has other calls as well. All of them are really interesting. What's up, Jacksonville, Florida? But the thing I think about most when I'm listening to those calls is, oh, this is just, it keeps turning it in, okay? Like, this got to just feel like a stab, especially them calls he's having with Sanya, whatever her damn name is. She's a hot ass mess. And for whatever reason, like Sanya had shared with him a couple of calls ago, we've heard Sanya say, listen, these calls are all over the internet. Like, you'd be amazed. And And he must have forgot some of the he was saying about this woman's body, about what he's going to do to her when he gets out. Every time he gets a court date, he thinks that's the day. Okay. What's up, Boston? Welcome. Every time he got a court date, he thought that was the day he was going to get out and bust it wide open. Okay. He literally was just a nasty ass mess. Let's face it, a nasty ass mess. Now, with all that being said, every single time she has finessed her YouTube channel, yes, for sure. She has a YouTube channel now, and she's releasing all the calls. At the end of the day, with everything that man has going on, you would think that someone in his family, someone close to him, a child, one of his kids, his brother, somebody would have really brought this shit home for him. And they haven't. Even Sanya was refused to take any accountability. Oh, they calling me your mistress. And we ain't never had a conversation where it would make them think I was your mistress. We just friends. I mean, I say I love you, but we just friends. And everybody who's listening is like, bitch, what? What are you saying? There's no way you could not know how damaging and horrible those calls sound. But anyway, she gave him this fluff ass, it's not that big of a deal, because he was like, where did it say I was your mistress? When she's telling him the calls are out there, where does it say? I didn't hear none of that. But at the same time, you can hear those wheels spinning in his head, because he knows that meal ticket, the one that was scrapping and surviving, trying to take care of her shit on the outside and his on the inside, he knew that was going to dry up. And it's unfortunate that it dried up the way it did. It should have dried up a long time ago. But she loved her man. She said that she, and a lot of people are saying this too. They don't believe some of the charges, like some of this shit is trumped up. Now, I don't know either way. Shit ain't happening to me. I don't know anybody involved in anything like that. Oh, child, are you kidding? She has her own channel. Hey, Finesse, listen, child, please email me if you can, the name of the channel so that I can look it up. I did not know that. So she trying to make a bag too, huh? Interesting. So she might try to finesse this into some sort of book deal or movie deal. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? How odd. I did hear her say something about meeting someone who wanted to make a movie out of this. Anyway, they were all living in Delulu, La La Land. That was what it felt like to me. But anyway, last night, the night before, there was a call that was dropped that she moved to Atlanta and she has recently did an interview with Tasha K. Okay, girl. Thank y'all for giving me that tea. Okay, we will be back later to talk about that. Okay. But anyway, so last night and the night before, 2 more calls dropped or videos dropped between Ernesto and his longtime friend, Dre. Now, Dre, from the very beginning, has just been literally like, damn, how did you get yourself into this situation? You could hear it in his voice. He actually said it for the most part. He was just like, Nesto, like the way he spoke to him, Nesto, what did you do? Like, of all the people in the world to have gotten themselves into a situation, what the hell did you do to get yourself into this situation? That's what he was saying. Like, and then somewhere along the way, he's like, Shirley can't be good. Like, she ain't built for this, Nesto. Like, that's how he was talking to him, right? And I was like, well, that's an interesting call that he's saying this. He was like, no, she ain't, but she is. She trying to deal with it. Okay, what can I put on your books? Like, how can we help you get through this? Because some of the shit they're saying about you, some of these charges that I have read, he said, they got you out here looking like you. This is crazy. Like, this is not who I knew you to be. Now, you could have graduated for show and you could be in some other shit, but for the most part, this is not who I remember you to be, right? And he genuinely seemed like he felt bad for him and just wanted to, help life on the inside be as, easygoing as it can be, because damn, right? But when I tell y'all that last night, them 2 calls that dropped, those 2 videos, that man put an ass whooping on Nesto in a way that no one has before. Like, everybody that man has talked to has basically tried to water down his situation to the point of where nobody was speaking in reality for the most part. And now it sounds like he has been dumped by even Sanya out there trying to make $1.15 on the man's name. Let's see. He was saying, how did you ruin Shirley's legit life? Run over that woman you was rocking with. Listen, he did, okay? He let his ass have it. But what I wanted to ask y'all, some of y'all in the audience, okay? Because I know it has been a whirlwind of stuff. I actually had to stop talking about it a little bit because I was like, yeah, $1.15, baby. Because I literally said, Dre earned MVP. He earned the MVP yesterday. I honestly was saying, it seemed to me like Shirley might have been legit scammed, like legitimately scammed, because when she figured this, like, I don't think she wanted to hear anybody say anything. And for the most part, because she was embarrassed as hell, she wasn't telling anybody anything. So she was like, literally, the world probably knew a whole lot more than she knew, because she was just trying to keep it secret. Like, this is embarrassing for me. I don't want to tell anybody. I don't want my job to find out. I'm just going to live in this little bubble and see what happens. And then when everything hit like a ton of bricks, it just opened up a whole new reality for her. That's what I think. I appreciate you for emailing it. Thank you. Okay. I appreciate y'all. Okay. So anyway, my question to you guys are, number one, I wanted to play this first. I'm going to play this first because I was like, when I heard this, I was like, I could tell that she really didn't know. But y'all remember this call that dropped, or not even a call. This is what happened on the Steve Harvey show back in September, early September, when everything, all of it hit the fan. Now, I remember Steve saying on air, Shirley, we all knew, everybody in the studio right now, everybody outside of the studio knew what the hell was going on. We were waiting for you to tell us, but we just wanted you to deal with it because we knew what you had a lot on your shoulders. And I remember thinking, damn, that's messed up that she was probably coming in, and not messed up in the sense that they did something to her, just messed up in the sense that she really did think this shit was a secret. That's what I mean. But she was at home thinking this is a secret, waking up at 4 a.m., going to work every single day, not missing anything. And everybody in this studio had to play it off like they didn't know, while she was confiding into one person in the studio, because Steve dropped her name too. He was like, you were telling such and such what was going on, and she was telling us because she felt she was fearful for you, like she was scared for you. So she was telling us, hoping that we could help you, but we were waiting for you to say something to us, and you didn't. And now everything has blown up. But this is the this is what Shirley had said on air that September. And it's just to jog your memory, because I'm sure a lot of you probably did hear. But I wanted to play this, and then I wanted to also play a couple of little excerpts of Dre's call and get your opinion now, because a lot of people were attacking Shirley. I don't trust Shirley. Shirley knew this. A lot of people thought that maybe he did something to Shirley's daughter and grandchildren. And then I think that it was released that those were not the charges at all for her daughter and grandchildren. So again, those aren't things that she would have immediately connected to. Okay, so anyway, let's play this first, and then we'll talk about it.
Start by saying that my estranged husband is in jail. He's been in jail for over a year, since about right after the 4th of July of 2022. And recently, some phone calls from last year between he and I were leaked. And on those calls, you hear me saying you were winded going up the stairs at your home. And Marjorie looks at us as the help. And right here and now, I want to apologize to you and Marjorie for what I said. As much as I wish I could, I can't take it back. I can't. I said it, and I want to apologize. It was definitely not me trying to add to what you and Marjorie already have going on in your life.
Okay, so let me just say this, because Steve has also been going through a lot with Marjorie. People, I guess some things had leaked about Marjorie stepping out on him or trying to leave him and taking all of his money. And with all of that happening, then, those tapes came out, and you hear Shirley saying that your wife thinks of us as a help, and we're, I don't like going over there. It was crazy, right? Thank you, everybody. I appreciate that. Keep coming in. 164 of you, 65 of you are in the chat. So just hit the like button on your way in, subscribe to the channel, and you'll be able to join the chat, talk, and hang out. Good community over here. But anyway, and Steve is still battling that a little bit. He did, I think he accepted an award maybe over the weekend, and he did damn near, shed a tear. He was crying, talking about, this woman right here has been with me since blah, blah, blah. And she's the reason I am who I am today. A lot of the things I accomplished with her by my side. He was like, I don't know what y'all talking about. Now, even though he kept saying he does not care about the chit chat and what's going on, the rumors, he broke down a little bit, like his voice was quivering. But anyway, just to say that, let's go on.
Lives right now. But the fact that these tapes were released, it does seem like everyone is coming for you, I should say, at this time, including me. But in reality, the tapes have nothing to do with what you and Marjorie have going on. It was just me running my mouth in a private conversation, or what I thought was a private conversation. And again, I apologize. I feel terrible. I make no excuses. You know, I said what I said, and there's no denying it. There's no taking it back. Back then, when the phone calls happened, I was trying to stand by my man, be supportive wife, you know. I've been married to this man for 8 years. I had no idea that all this was going on with him. I had no idea. And the charges that he's facing are horrific. They are really bad. I for sure did not want your name mentioned in any kind of way associated with my mess. So I had to call you.
Okay, so just stopping a little bit, you know, when you have these audios, you want to make sure that you can interrupt it a little bit, but married to him for 8 years. And there is a little bit of an age difference between Ernesto and Shirley. Shirley, I believe, turned 69 this past July. And I think Ernesto might be 50, somewhere between 53 and 56 is what I think is the age difference.
I had to tell you, it was a hard call for me to make, but I called you. And I want to clear something up, Steve. You did not introduce me to him. I met him through a friend. I should say an ex-friend now. Anyway, so back to what I was saying. I had to tell you, he was in jail. It was going to come out. I didn't want you to hear it from anyone else. I wanted you to hear it from me, because I knew once the police and everyone you know, got involved, and they were already involved, and they found out who his wife was and who she worked with and all of that, you know, and that's you, Steve Harvey, it would become, you know, a real big story, because it's you, your name. And like I told you, Steve, when I called you, I didn't want to call you. I mean, I was embarrassed. I was hurt. You know, I felt so stupid, and, you know, I felt betrayed, humiliated. You know, it was just terrible. I mean, I kept saying to myself, how is this my life? You know, police and jail and all of this. It was just something that I didn't, you know, I'd never experienced anything like this. The police came, they took my car. I was at the salon getting my hair done. They rolled up, took my car. I had to have my stylist take me home.
So just again, she had did a call or with her husband, and I remember this call. This was a bad call. This is when I was like, she has to hear that he's lying, because you could tell that he was lying there. But she had called her husband. He's in jail, and she says exactly that. She said, I was in the salon, and when I came outside, they had the car on the flatbed. They had her, I think it was a Mercedes truck, which, damn, there was someone who was saying that that Mercedes truck, he had stole, I don't know, $100,000 from her or something, and it actually bought the ring that Shirley was wearing in the truck and some other stuff. But he had called and said that. Let's see. Yep. That's right, Andrea. Dre heard this call on the radio on September 11th and then called Ernesto on September 14th. September 11th is when this audio came on the radio. And then on September 14th is when Dre makes the call. Those were the calls or the videos that were released last night and the day before on Phone Calls from Prison's channel. Anyway, she's telling him, I'm so humiliated. I came out. There's like a circle of cops. They didn't even have the damn lights on. They pulled up. They knew exactly where she was, snuck up into that damn driveway, had it blocked, had the whole parking lot blocked off, her car in the flatbed, and saying, come down with us to talk to us. You don't know who this man is. And she's like nervous as hell. She's like, I don't know what to do. And they're like, well, this car is coming with us. It don't belong to you, basically. And they took the car, and she had to go back inside and tell her stylist. And she gave her a ride home, and she was carless. Like child, I can't even imagine. 68 years old, all of this stuff happening to you back to back to back to back to back. The life you knew, you're renting places, houses you used to own, you don't have anymore. Everything is gone. Everything is gone. But while she was doing all that and saying that, he just kept going, wow, wow, wow. Well, they got to give you that back. Sir, I'm without a car right now. That's number one. Number two, there's no way in hell. Like, the second she said they came to pick up that car, every alarm in his head had to have gone off. When she said, they told me they're coming back for my ring, every alarm in his head had to go off. And he still, like, that is scammer, scammer, scammer. He still couldn't say, get out now. Like, I'm telling you, he was setting her up for the okie doke. He's taken this fall inside, and he didn't even love her enough to say, detach your shit from me. Like, that is awful. Let's see what you guys are saying. I think that Dre is trying to help Nesto. Reroute, because they were both insinuating that Shirley went after him. What? I know people are putting Dre on the back, patting Dre on the back, but he's well aware of how the game goes. Wait a minute, honey. Reroute, because they're both insinuating that Shirley went after him. When you say went after him, are you saying that because Dre was like, you had a good woman, and he said, I didn't chase Shirley, Shirley chased me? Is that what you mean? Tell me. Okay. Yeah, because Dre was really going after him. Now, I listened to the whole thing, but it sounded like Dre was going after him like you had somebody who was down with you and you cashed it in, because he kept saying you was capping for this chick. And dude was like, what do you mean by capping? He was like making it seem, oh, you really here for me. That bitch wasn't here for you. She's just taking a phone call. She's here to put money on your books. You flipped your support. Your support was the one who lost everything and was still willing to do everything for you. Because at some point he's like, Shirley lost it all. Her car, her house, all her money. She would have lost her job too if she was on Fox or CNN or some shit like that. He was like, and you are sitting here with this bimbo not doing what you need to do. Like, that was crazy to me. Welcome to the chat. This is the DYANAROZAY. I'm actually going to call this DRRT, DYANAROZAY Real Talk. So we're going to have these real talks in the morning time. Okay, child? But anyway, he kept saying, wow, wow. And then he was so, what's the word I'm looking for? Nonchalant, uncaring. He just did not seem to have connected to her pain. She was like, I'm embarrassed. I am hurt. And he was like, well, what do you think about me? And she had to make his ass feel better. She was like, I know you're there, but I'm just saying, I've never been through anything like this before. I was like, Shirley, run. This is the time to run. And now all of the stuff that has to be coming back, like hindsight is 2020, but all of the conversations she had with this man, like, wow, when I was doing this, he was doing that. When I was, trying to hustle and get this is what he was doing. Uh-oh, hold on. Someone said no. In the latest call, he was talking about Sonya, not Shirley. Oh, Sonya seemed, he moved to Atlanta. Okay. Anyway, let me finish this up.
I had to move in with friends. I lost my house. I lost everything. Oh, and I have to tell you this too. Like on the day, July 4th, we were having dinner with friends and we were going to watch the fireworks after that. And so the fireworks didn't happen that night because it was like a terrible, terrible storm. So the fireworks got canceled. And when I look back, I see now that that was kind of a metaphor for what was about to happen in my life. The thunderstorms were coming. They were coming. The next day was the last time I saw him. He was arrested the very, very next day. I didn't even know he was arrested. I couldn't get in touch with him. I got a call from the jail, and I didn't answer it because I'm like, who would be calling me from jail? I looked at my phone like, jail? Where'd this call? It just didn't compute. So I just ignored it. But he got word to me through one of his friends. They texted me that he was at Fulton County Jail. So the next time he called, I picked up, and that was him that had called earlier from jail. And he told me what happened. I thought he would be getting out in a couple of days because that's what he told me. But of course, here we are a year later. Those days turned into weeks. The weeks turned into months. And like I said, I don't. This is just on and on. Every day is just something. And my life has just been a nightmare ever since. And it's still going on, Steve. I mean, I had no idea that those tapes would be released to the world. I knew that they were being recorded, but I didn't know that they were going to go out to the world. I mean, I was just trying to make conversation with him, trying to, just get him to think about something other than where he was. I was telling him about my day, this particular day, and that was the day we were talking about, on the phone when I said those things about you and the things that you heard and the world heard. And cut to today, I haven't spoken to him in quite some time. Divorce proceedings are underway. And Steve, at this point, all I could say is what I have is my faith. If it wasn't for God, I probably would have, lost my mind or something in this instance. People don't see what happens when these mics go off. Who wants their personal stuff, their private conversations to go out to public? No one wants that. I mean, what could I say to you after this, happened? I was devastated. I mean, absolutely devastated. I mean, I thought of everything, I could lose my job. How could I face you? Everything, what I'm going through is what I'm going through, and I've been going through it for over a year. I just haven't spoken about it. Then on top of all that, these tapes come out and, I'm talking about you and Marjorie, and you guys are going through your own private hell right now. You didn't need me to contribute to anything, and I thought back, because I knew I had to say something, speak on. You created this term years ago in Los Angeles called reality radio. And I'm going to tell you right now, this is about as real as it gets,
Sure.
And the reason I'm here before you now, I wanted to say it live on the radio, is because your name is in it. We've been friends for a long time, Steve, and these jail calls were made public, and I wanted to give you and Marjorie a public apology and to ask for your forgiveness publicly. I just wanted to have a real moment with you. And, I have to tell you, I've been coming to work every day because, it's my only safe haven right now. It gave me a place where I could still be myself and forget my troubles for a little while, and just, do my job. I want to thank you guys. I want to thank you, of course, Steve, Tommy, Junior, and of course, my girl, Carla, for the space and the grace that you guys have shown me. This is a very difficult time in my life, is if you can imagine. I love you guys. We're family, and I thank you. And I just want to thank everyone. I'm just trying to live. I'm sorry for what you and your wife are going through right now in your life. And I hate your names were dragged into my drama because you certainly don't deserve it. All right, Steve.
Okay. So there's that. Okay. Let me see what you guys have to say, because that's really what I wanted to ask after the Dre call, us listening to Shirley. Let me see. Dorothy said, I feel sorry for her. Steve always told Shirley she was naive. I pray. Ooh, child, let me tell you something. Not only that little conversation about the naive, but you remember when there was a call that Sanya did, where she said, I think it was his brother said that she's not too smart. She's I don't know if she used the word naive, but somebody said something like she's dumb or she's not too smart. Your brother told me that you said she's not that smart or some mess like that. I was like, damn, does it get any better than that? Let me see. So listen, for those of you in the chat, I need a vote right now. Do y'all feel like Shirley was in on some of this or nah? Okay. A lot of people were not giving her any grace when this first came out. There was more people that weren't than were, because people felt she should have knew better. Why did she, put herself in the situation? Things like that. So if you feel like she was a part of it, I want you to put a 2 in the chat. If you feel like, listen, she was just completely scammed, I want you to put a 4 in the chat. Okay. Excuse me, maybe I said that wrong. If you feel like she had something to do with it, put a 2 in the chat. If you feel like she was scammed, put a 4 in the chat. Sorry about that. It's early. Some people are just putting no. She had something to do with it, 2. Nothing to do with it, 4. Okay. Okay. A lot of people are saying 4 now. I know that when her daughter's name was in it very early, people felt really strongly that she had something to do with it, or that she should have known something. But when the information, the details around that became a little more clear, people kept saying she didn't. Okay. So it looks like there's more 4. Somebody said 3. I guess they're filling in between. Okay. But it looks like more people believe that she was just a victim of a scammer. And sometimes, y'all, when you fall in love with people, I don't know if you know, it is a chemical that's released in the brain. And it can very much feel like a drug. In your mind, you don't think properly. I know people are like, she should have known better. Your brain literally is affected. Your brain is affected. There is a chemical that is released that keeps you in this chokehold. That's for sure. Okay, listen. I'm just going to play a little bit of Dre. The good parts, not everything though. It was all good actually. And this is just from the first tape, not the second one, because I know a lot of you are saying that there was more information released on the second one that sound like there might have been some double talking going on. But let's hear. He has such a mumble voice. Okay, hold on. Let me make sure that you guys can hear this. I'm saying it too, because on last night's call, Ernesto said he told Shirley to buckle up. It's about to be a ride. He did say that. I heard the call where he tells her that. And I think it might have happened just after, right after her car got took and everything. Because at first he was like, if you want to divorce me, that's fine. Listen, but from what it sounds like at this point, he didn't even know, like after Shirley made the statement on the radio, I don't think that they have talked. Because when Dre talks to him, he's like, have you heard from Shirley? Nah, he was like, I guess I'm divorced now. I don't know. But it sounds like she might have cut him off long before that. But let's play this.
You've been told that they got 1 through 13. So when you say them motherfuckers are pretty, don't let nothing happen to those right there. They got you. I say, good God Almighty. I said that. Yeah, I said that. Yes, I did. I know you say that. Yes, I did say that. Yes, because they are pretty. So, what else? Ain't no what else. I'm your friend to the end, but I just want you to know the situation that you got yourself into. I don't know how you're going to get yourself out of this one. I know you always, but been on you a long time. Long time. And I've seen you see at the bottom and rise to the top. I've seen you work your way out of stuff and make miracles out of things that didn't look like they were going to ever come true. But boy, I got to see how you're going to get up out of this right here and clear your name back up. I really want, I hear you talking about God. Believe in God, God isn't God. You say that all the time on your conversation. But I got to see, I really want to see how you're going to get yourself out of this one. I couldn't tell her was.
Okay. So he's just basically, he was like, I'm just going to give it to you straight. Um, I don't know if you've not been paying attention, but you've been talking on the phone with this woman who's literally got your ass hemmed up. All the stuff that you've been saying to her, you literally sound like you are the scammer and the hustler and the asshole that everybody has been talking about. Your calls with Shirley was completely different. You're talking about God, you're talking about how innocent you are and you being, blah, blah, blah. He said every time you got on the phone with Shirley, or excuse me, with Sanya for the most part, you are talking like a motherfucker who did everything that you charged with. Okay? That's the truth.
And I think Shirley was, see, all she could do as a wife is stand beside you and to stand for you. Hold on, Ernesto. Hold on. Okay. She did all of that. I heard her. I don't believe this, but they got you charged with. I don't believe.
So this is Dre and Ernesto. This is a good friend of Ernesto Williams. They did time together, and we don't get to hear Dre very often, but when he is on these calls, he's always very supportive. He's always asking, what can he do to help? Can he help Shirley? Giving him, putting money on his book so he can get some soup or something. I think that's how he put it. Someone said, if you know anyone who's done years in prison until they get help, most sound just like Nesto. It's never them, it's everyone else. Correct. For sure. And that was the whole point I was saying at the very beginning. Every time he is on a call, don't matter who, with his family, with his brother, with Sanya, everybody except for Shirley, the conversations he's always had with Shirley were completely different from his children and everybody else's brother. Those calls were just, it always felt like there was something else going on, right? He was just sound nasty, period, like a piece of work. And now that you're saying this, Relly, but when you said he was talking code, like he was like, we know all the scammer shit you did, but nobody knows about how you feed the homeless. Nobody knows about how you take clothes down to the shelter. Nobody knows about how you blah, 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 like, right? All the good stuff. Nobody knows how you donate your last to X, Y, and Z. He was like, that's right. That's right. Those two people don't exist in that body. Okay. You smart, girl. You smart. Okay.
I don't believe that. They making up stuff. Okay, honey. Okay, baby. Love you. I just want you to just pray. I heard the scripture she gave you, the Bible verses she gave you, all of that. That's fine, honey. But I'm going to tell you something. And you know this too. And I believe Shirley could have still been there for you. Even the stuff that went on with Steve and Aunt Marjorie and all that. But nigga, you on the phone talking to Sonya about her tennis and her ass and how she makes you feel and all that. Nigga, come on, man. Really? Okay, no, I'm not.
And he had no words. He was like, okay, so I'm a man, okay? I'm a man. Yeah, I like this, I like that. And then he basically dogged Shirley again. Shirley ain't about that. Shirley don't do none of that. I can't do any of those things with Shirley. And then he tried to make it seem like out of respect for Shirley, he didn't say any of those things to her. I don't like this other girl. I disrespect her.
I don't play public defender and lawyer with you and technicality and all of that because I'm your partner. Okay, I got you. You need to be trying to play technicality with that fucking DA. These prosecutors and shit that got your name out there, they're trying to destroy you and get out. It don't matter. If it was last year, if it was 20 years ago, they got you on the phone. Love you. The pretty kitties. I don't know if you paid for them or not. That's what they got you thinking. And then women hate your ass. I want you to understand what you're going through. I do understand. I understand all of that. You can't be mad. Don't be trying to. I don't know if you're trying to do it or not. I ain't trying to do nothing. I know that. But I don't hear the phone. I got that. But this is something else that I noticed too. And this is what you gonna need. That Shirley got. Okay. When you heard that letter that she read Monday on the Steve Harvey morning show to the world. I didn't hear that.
Is this the cold part you was talking about, really? Where he says, you need what Shirley got?
Boy. Okay. So when she got on national, the Steve Harvey, the Shirley Strawberry letter, when she told the world everything that had been going on, she apologized to Steve. She had to admit what she was going through, and she tears came to the woman's eyes. Then that had me crying. Okay. And she had to admit to Steve what was going on, how coming to work, and defending your ass. And still trying to stand strong for her husband. I heard that. Right. Okay. After it was all said and done, Steve said, we family. We've been together 20, 25 years. We family. You are nothing to get fired. I forgive you, Shirley. Carmen, we love you. Monica, we love you. The other young Junior, we love you. They got her back. They got her back because you know if she would have been anywhere else, Fox, ABC, CNN, any other place with them white folks in the talk, I would have been gone a long time ago. So they got her support system. So I'm saying to myself, that's what my partner gonna need too. Even though he ain't shit right now. That's right. He gonna need a support. He gonna need a support system too. Steve is on a better platform than what we are, but you gonna need that same support system for forgiveness too. It's a matter of that about you too. Even though you ain't shit right now.
Okay, even though you ain't shit right now. All right. So that's all I wanted to play for that part. But I just wanted to see. Someone said that when Sanya told him about the calls, she was half-stepping. Listen, she knew those calls were bad, but I want to see what she is posting on her channel too. I did not realize that she had gotten herself a channel and that she was chit-chatting with Tasha K. He's half-stepping with his boy, is telling him the real, you ain't shit out here. But he is kind of saying to him, because I was like, wait a minute. When he did say to him, listen, they ain't talking about how you feed the homeless. They're not talking about all the clothes you sent down to the shelter. They're not talking about all the money you give to X, Y, and Z charities. And dude on the other side talking about, that's right. That's right. That's right. What? That's what? Okay. We're trying to figure out when that happened. Where did that happen? These two people don't exist. Not with the charges they have on your butt. Okay. And wouldn't it just be something? Wouldn't it just be something if all the people that you scam, because everybody's been asking the same question. You keep saying you were set up. You keep saying, what's going on here with, I didn't do this. I don't know you to do this. Wouldn't it be something if somebody that he set up set his ass up? Wouldn't that be something? That the reason he's in there is because someone, not that he hasn't done half of the shit that's on the list, but if somebody was like, okay, you couldn't do what you needed to do and give me my money, let's set it up for you, okay? Dre is creating the overlay for the underlay. Okay. All right. So anyway, I just wanted to play that, see what you guys' temperature was on that one. It would. Listen, karma plays like that. This man act like he doesn't know what's going on. And I want to know, he asked him every question except, why did you have a damn ambulance? What was the ambulance for? What was the ambulance for, sir? We'd love to know. Okay. So anyway, those calls took me. Okay, I ain't gonna lie. But let's play. Hold on one second. Let me take this down. Let's take this down. All right. So there is another video that I wanted to play for y'all, some audio. This has to do with P. Diddy and his friend or his security guard, Rodger Bonds. Rodger Bonds has since deleted his Instagram. He has come out. He was actually named in Cassie's filing. So the paperwork on Cassie's filing, and he was named as someone who witnessed some of the attacks that came against her. Now, he came out to say that he did witness it, that he not only witnessed it with Cassie, but other women, and that he intervened. He tried to save her or protect her. But he said that after a while, Diddy would get, he learned, and he would end up sending them off on errands so that he could do his business with this girl. And then when they come back, the deed was done. Now, a lot of people are giving him a hard time, saying, listen, at the end of the day, you knew what was going on and you should have gone to the police. You should have done more to help her. I want to say this to y'all. Abuse like that is a system. It's a system. And everybody is involved in it. He has doctors on board. He has other people, other employees whose whole job is to make whatever story, whatever lie he wants to be the truth. Okay. So if you are a security guard, if you work security for him, you witness him attack this girl, they bring in a doctor to bandage her up, to fix her broken nose or whatever. The doctor who has sworn an oath to, report any abuse that he may see, he's already broken that oath. So he's not going to ruin his job. And because of the status he has in society, most people will believe him over the security guard. So you have to keep that in mind too, that it's a system that's in place. So not everybody can just go down to the police station and tell. It'll actually put the person in more danger, and it could put them in harm's way as well. So anyway, let me get my short up. Here we go. Okay. TN60. Rodger Bonds, former security for Diddy, said he did intervene when Cassie was being assaulted. He also said that Cassie wasn't the only one.
Comes a time when you're in a situation that may seem like a good situation, but if you're not waking up happy, or if you disgruntled, or you really don't want to be around that person, you find every excuse to get out of there. And I got diabetes. So my excuse was, I can't be with you every day. I can't do this. I can't do that. I'm losing weight. I'm doing that. But in reality, it was, I was sick. I was sick of you. I was sick of everything that was going on around you. I was sick of having to cover up everything that you did. I was sick. Cassie spoke on it. She said, yeah, I jumped on it. I jumped in between it. That wasn't the only time. It was other times. And it was other people.
Okay. So anyway, I just played that to say this is just a support to Cassie at this point, because there were so many people saying that this is a money grab. And him coming out, in my opinion, him coming out as a man who saw it, who witnessed it, and said, listen, it absolutely happened. I did try to help him. It is a system. It's a system just like the abuses that happen in the legal system for a lot of people. It's a system. People are paid to shut up. If it's not the people that he has directly in his camp, he may have somebody at the police department. He may have a judge that will get him off. It's a system, and nobody thinks about it that way, but it's true. It's not like you could just walk into the police station and say, this is what happened with this billionaire and this girl that he's dating. That's not always the case, but I'm only saying that so that we can look at the bigger picture of things. And I'm going to tell you how big of a system it is. Okay. Let me take this picture down. Y'all, the one person that stayed in the public consciousness the entire time all these things were going on is this woman right here, Janice Combs. Y'all love to say, where is Cassie's mama? What the hell was Janice doing? Okay. You can just type in Janice right now, Janice Combs, into Google. This woman, from the time P. Diddy became famous, She was just as famous as his mama, just as famous. There was not a party she did not attend. There was not a red carpet she was not on. Okay. She was everywhere he was. And anytime there was something going on, allegedly, we saw her with Kim Porter when there's a picture of Kim Porter, the doctor that fixed Kim Porter's nose, because Kim Porter's nose was broken. P. Diddy and his mama was on the boat. They all took a picture together. So where was she? Like, how do you, let me see what you're saying over here. How do you condone this? How do you watch your son be this out of control? And I don't know. I said it was a system. Could she have helped? Is there something she could have done? I'm asking. Let's see. And if the guard said something and the victims were not ready to come out, for sure, he would have looked like a damn fool if it happened. That's true. I'm just saying, because again, sometimes we think about things really black and white. And all I'm saying is we have to give grace sometimes, and just remember, these things don't just happen like that. There is a system. This is something that has been going on for years, allegedly. Now there is more men than women who's coming out to back that story, to say that these things are happening. So all I'm saying is we have to just keep that in mind, because I believe that y'all ran this man off the internet. Rodger Bonds had to shut his whole entire page down because everybody kept saying, you are to blame. You should have gone here. You should have gone there. So for as much as we want people to speak up and say, hey, this is going on, we can shut them down at the same time, because we will end up attacking them for trying to share their story or tell their story. We have to keep that in mind. Listen, it is a system. A man as rich as P. Diddy, who can fly a doctor out to a boat in the middle of no damn where to fix his baby mama's nose because it's broken. Okay, he says she tripped and fell. Somebody else said she tripped and fell on his fist. To have his mama sit there and take the picture with him and act like everything's all good so that there's no horrible stories out there. Janice is, I believe, 82 or 83 right now, but there's just as many pictures of her on Google as there is P. Diddy. Okay? Let me see what else you guys are saying. Just my opinion. Let's start asking where the mama is of the abuser as well. In my humble opinion, the mom was accustomed to a lifestyle of her husband. Who would be her husband? I didn't know she was married. Are you talking about Maurice Combs? Didn't he pass away when P. Diddy was 2? If you're talking about P. Diddy's father, he passed away when he was 2. People tell their parents what they want. People tell their parents what they want and also say that they don't want them to worry. Okay. I still think that if you are a mama who is watching these girls' faces be beat up and then you show up in a scene to take a photo with them to make sure that nobody thinks different, that you know something. That's what I think. Diddy's father. Okay, so yes. There is stories out there about the father. I believe his name was Maurice. And he was supposedly a big time hustler, but he also passed. I think he lost his life in a car. Somebody came and riddled it with steel. And so he didn't even know his father that well. I don't think he knew him. But he talked about how they lived in New York, and then they moved him or the mom moved outside of New York, to one of the suburbs, and that's where he stayed. But so you think that Janice lived it? Okay, I'm seeing a lot of people give Janice a little bit of a pass. I'm not saying that she doesn't deserve one. I'm just saying that there is more grace for Janice than there has been for either Cassie or for Rodger Bonds. Y'all done ran Rodger Bonds right off the internet. Cassie is somewhere living her life. But I will say, she was the sacrifice, allegedly. Okay. I will say that there was some new information that dropped the other day by Simone Redwine. Did y'all hear about that? Simone Redwine said that she's not sure that P. Diddy was the person who made the payout. Maybe he did. He might have added to it. Cassie probably in witness protection. That girl got her millions, and she's on, if witness protection is an island, that's where she is, more than likely. She's on that island, okay? Let me play this for y'all. This is Simone Redwine. Let's just hear a little bit more about the money, how much money was paid.
Just Diddy. They sued his corporation.
They sure did.
And they sued his corporations. Her attorneys were really brilliant. They didn't sue just Diddy. They sued his corporations.
They sure did.
And they sued his corporations and sued as her, in her capacity as an employee. When you do that, it triggers commercial liability insurance.
Yeah.
And it triggers another policy called directors and officers. Okay. And we know he's a director of these companies as the CEO. So now you got two policies. What happens then is it takes away Puffy's ability to settle. It's not his choice no more.
So it's no longer personal accountability. It's his organization.
It's his organization. And it's no different than like if you hit somebody with your car.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say you have State Farm. State Farm gets to decide to settle, not you. You could say, I didn't run the stop sign. That's not true. They're lying. If State Farm says, we don't care, we did our investigation, we're settling. That's it. That's what happened here. So because they added those claims, the corporate insurance carrier got to say, read over it and say, oh, hell no, we giving her the money.
We're hearing you. Diddy's public reputation is done.
It's done.
Yeah.
And if he wants to be able to leave anything to his children, he needs to walk away from all of these corporations.
Damn, he can no longer be the head of his corporations.
Well, remember, didn't I say directors and officers liability?
Yeah.
More than likely, what will happen is those insurance companies, they have the ability to say, we won't renew your policy if he continues to be a director or officer.
Okay. So I just wanted to play that. I see a lot more people are coming into the chat. Listen. I don't care why he settled so quick. I don't care why he settled so quickly. He is a monster. Oh, we should care why he settled quickly. The thing that I wanted to point out here is she did sue the business. And if the business was the one to pay out in the assurance, it could have been a lot more money. And he might have added something to it from his own personal pockets. Whether they get the policy renewed or not, they're going to force him to step down, which means that right now he needs to be putting everything in his children's name. That was the point, or his children's name or somebody else's name, and getting it out of his own, which he's more than likely doing. But it is just a point of, number one, if you are the victim of something, let me see. Once you have a claim like that, the insurance company will drop you for sure. For sure. But I just thought it was interesting that we all were trying to figure out why did this move so fast, if it was him or if the insurance company was the one to pay out, which is what Simone is suggesting, that it's very possible it wasn't Diddy that settled as quickly. It was the insurance company that wanted this to go away. Diddy knows it's over. He's limited his comments on Instagram. Oh, he's limited his comments on Instagram, so he's not getting any negative comments from people, from the public. Oh, for sure. But I noticed that people are leaving comments on his son's Instagram post. Let's see. Insurance company don't pay out. Insurance company does not pay out that quickly. That was Diddy's payout. She is right, but not in this case. Interesting. Okay. I don't know. I'm just asking. Cassie is not safe. I'll tell you what, if anything happens to Cassie, if she breaks a toenail, the first person they're going to look at is P. Diddy, period. So it's not in his best interest to do anything to anybody at this point. He better just enjoy the life that he has left, because all eyes are on this and they're not going to be moved. Period, y'all. Okay, now I played that, and last thing I was going to play was T.I. Let me get his information up. Have y'all been paying attention to this child? Because it looks like T.I. and his son. Let's see. It looks like his son is it might have been a publicity stunt, because him and his son actually have a podcast that they're doing now. And a lot of people have been talking about it. So I was just curious what y'all was thinking about that. I know a lot of people said that y'all thought that T.I.'s son was out of pocket. Let's see. Here we go. Okay. So a lot of people are saying that his son is out of pocket. You don't like it. Hold on one second. Sorry about that.
Why you let somebody play with me like that? Why you let him play with me like that? Why you let him play with me like that? No, ain't no joking. Ain't no joking. What do you mean?
You are embarrassing yourself and your family, nigga. You embarrassing yourself. You are embarrassing yourself. You are embarrassing yourself. What is you talking
Get
about?
out me, nigga. Man, get out me, nigga.
Well, you can't do nothing with me.
Okay, sorry about that. Anyway, I only played that little clip because I was like, listen, the fact that he had to choke his son on doggone I don't know how they had these cameras rolling. Looked like he was holding it. But you got to choke your son out on this little camera to get him to control himself, even though a lot of people have been saying that King has been off the chain for a minute. Okay. He has been out here off the chain for a minute. A lot of people have been commenting on his behavior. At one point, even T.I. himself has come out and said, it looks like he might be, the only way he's going to learn is if he's behind a cell, because we can't do nothing with him. But he is desperately trying to get his son back on track. He even wrote something like basically telling the public, listen, he belongs to me. I'm taking care of it. Y'all don't have to worry about it, but it's out there. And it looks like he's trying to put him in, give him something constructive to do. Okay. Definitely give him something constructive to do. King is probably acting out for a reason. You think so? He keeps saying that he wasn't given the life that he believes his brothers and sisters were given, that he had to live with his grandmother. And he said that his grandmother lives in the hood, which I don't believe she does, but that would be Tiny's mama that he's referring to. But he keeps saying that his grandmother lives in the hood. And right now we are seeing on television, mothers, Black mothers in particular, saying we need to hold our sons accountable. They got to grow the hell up. That is the theme right now on Love and Marriage Huntsville between Nell Fletcher and her son, Chris Jr. We saw it play out on Married to Medicine with Simone and her son. I'm giving you 1 year to get your mess together. You've been in college for 5 years right now. Figure out what you want to do and how you want to do it. Okay, because we're not paying for anything else. Graduate next year or you will not graduate. Find a place to live because you can't live here. So I was just curious. Like, I know the comments were that y'all thought that King should go to jail. A lot of people were saying he should go to jail, that T.I. should cut him off. Some of y'all are real tough in the love department with your kids. Let's see. I think that was a regular family session that went left. King has been an issue for a long time. A lot of people were saying that as well, that you thought King has been an issue for a very long time. Let's see. In regards to T.I., Tiny, and the young man King, it is quite disrespectful. In my opinion, he doesn't view them as his parents. He sees them as his siblings. Wow. He was raised by her mother and he treats them as siblings. You think he was raised by her mother? Is that it? He said that he was only brought back to that home to film the TV show that they had on VH1. I love that TV show, by the way. I thought those kids were cute. But they had working parents, right, who were out there doing stuff. At one point, T.I. was away for a little bit, okay, in a cell of his own. So it's just interesting. There's no right way. If there was, there'd been a book out already. Everybody would be doing it the right way. Let's see. That's the word on the street. Allegedly, right? Allegedly. Let me put up the allegedly banner. Even though I'm about to head off of this, I just wanted to bring up those couple of points. I was actually stuck after I had saw the Ernesto commentary, the Ernesto and Dre commentary. I was like in a chokehold myself. Okay, let's see. I think all families have a king. Children, no matter who the parents, children, no matter what parents do, children these days feel entitled. There is a strong entitlement with the children. But children have more, parents have more than they ever had before. And I don't think there's such a gap, okay? Like the way T.I. lived, those kids could never comprehend that. They could never comprehend that. They came in this world when, you know, he had it all. So that's different. Let's see. King has always been an issue, but they thought that it was cute when he was young. Get these young men together before they turn out like Tim from Sweetie Pies. Oof. Well, Tim has a mental illness, I think. That's apparent. Now, I'm going to say, hopefully everything will turn out okay with this young man. He is young. They can get him on the right track. Your kids do not act like King. Okay. Nola said that her kids would never. That's a parental issue with entitlement because I was raised with balance. Yeah, it doesn't happen to the women as much. The girl children, we figure things out quick. For whatever reason, I don't know. Sometimes the males don't. It don't work. And right now, the interesting dynamic that I'm really interested in, or I should say the dynamic I'm really interested in, is when we watched Married to Medicine and you see it's Cecil is the one who is like, listen, why can't we just, you know, help him get through it? Why is generational wealth a bad thing? Which it isn't. You should want your children to have what you have, right? But you also need to give them goals to meet. And he's just like, we should take our time with this one. Same with Chris Jr. We're going to see what's going on with the Fletchers tomorrow. But for Chris Jr. to break down and cry when he was talking to his son, try to share that same information with his wife. And his wife is like, I'm not buying that shit under no circumstances. Now, that was just a little bit of a clip. She might, you know, something else might happen in the actual scene. But she was like, he is an a-hole. That's number one. Number two, when he sits at my table, I'm going to go after him. Period. I'm going to let him know what's going on because I tried to call him. I tried to text him and he ignored me. So she's saying we need to hold him accountable. Hold him accountable and make him do what he's supposed to do. He can't cry about it and say that he needs more time or he needs a different level of attention than everybody else has, right? But anyway, that's pretty much it, guys. I've been on for a while. This is an hour and some change. I appreciate everybody who joined me this morning. I'm trying to do a regular schedule with my lives so that you guys could be, we can come in and have communion and enjoy each other's company a little more. Let's see. I don't see it with him. Look how he speaks to his parents. I'm assuming you're still talking about King. We will see. These kids have grown up in the public's eyes. So we've seen this little boy when he was a little boy. We saw him when he was, you know, going off to elementary and he was the cute kid with the wild hair who was, you know, saying them little smart, sassy comments, smart and sassy comments to his parents. And he's the only one, right? That's what we see right now. The oldest two who would have had a little bit of a different lifestyle, the oldest two, they're, you know, out doing, they have a career, they're rapping, they're singing, playing guitar, showing, you know, their talents in the world. Who was the other one? Who was the one that wore the glasses? It was King, and then I forgot the other young man, but he was really smart. And I think he might have been the youngest. I think he was younger than King. And now they have the little girl, and we see her all the time singing and stuff on camera, on live. So hopefully they're okay. I think that their parents really love them and they want them to have the best, okay? T.I.'s oldest sons are now getting some shine because they are respectable and talented young men. Tiny is not their mother, FYI, okay? Major, yes, Major. That was an adorable baby. I loved Major. Major was hilarious to me. Anyway, y'all, we're going to sign off now. I appreciate y'all for joining the live this morning. We'll do it again, maybe a little later today, okay? I got to run out and do some errands, get my passport. I had my, got to get my passport picture and a whole bunch of other stuff, but I will talk to y'all a little bit later this afternoon, okay? Make sure that you hit the like button if you haven't already on your way out. Also, subscribe to the channel, share the video, hit your notification bell, and I will see you all on the next one.